Welcome back to the Dad Compass podcast. I'm your host, Dmitry.
And I'm also your host, Dmitry.
Fantastic. We got two Dmitrys. Imagine sending your kids to church. In this case, it's a school, only for them to never come home. Imagine your child being cyberstalked every single day by somebody that's family, only find out that it's their mother. This isn't going well.
It's going great. It's going great. Except for you literally
butchering everything.
All right.
So you guys just pretend you didn't hear any of that. But these aren't fake. This is like legitimately shit that's going on. There's a Netflix documentary that came out about catfishing, and you had the Annunciation Catholic School shooting. Our condolences go out to all the families. I can't imagine. It's fucking horrible. I'll just say I fucking hate people. They're terrible, man.
No, it is terrible. It's hard to read that shit, and I know that there's a huge topic of banning guns and stuff like that, but I think that there's other signs to stop this type of stuff.
Well, he wrote a poem. He wrote a poem when he was a freshman year in high school, and the poem itself was actually called "But Not the End," and it's pretty much him talking about pretty much having like an existential crisis and not wanting to die, but also not wanting his like name to be nothing and to kind of be forgotten in it. And nobody picked up on that shit. How does that happen?
Yeah, I guess that's kind of my point. And I'm not saying it's perfect, but
it was called Ode to Death, expressing a deep existential fear and a longing for significance. Westman wrote a regret that my name would not be known for something more, indicating a profound yearning for purpose and remembrance. If this is like how people are, I guess, like trying to be remembered, that's ridiculous. If like this is what our kind of world has kind of come to.
Well, I think sadly it's true with a lot of mass shooters.
Yeah.
Try not to remember their names. I think the Columbine ones I just remember just because it was all over the place and it was so close. But I couldn't even tell you the name of the Dark Knight movie theater shooter.
Oh, the dude with the fucking red hair, green hair,
yeah.
whatever that was.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell you his name. I feel like it was James something, but that was it.
That's you know what's I think the most messed up thing about all this is, all right, now, and not now, like it's been a thing. As a parent, like you try not to think about the worst case scenario. God damn. I feel like got peanut butter on my fucking roof of my mouth. Like as a parent, like you try not to like
playing with the dog.
I was playing with the dog where he was playing with me. Wink, wink. We flip-flop the roles. I put peanut butter on his balls.
Nice.
Like as a parent, you try not to, like, you want to take your kids to the movies, and the last thing you want to think about is like, oh my God, there's some guy that's going to come in here and do something horrible, or like you go to a fair or an event, or they go to school. And I feel like it's getting scarier and scarier. And maybe that's just my own personal like thought that my son and my daughter are like, hey, Dad, why do you always bring your gun everywhere? I was like, because it's there to protect you and the people around me. Like there's the likelihood that something happens, I wish I could say is like non-existent.
It's still low.
It is incredibly low, but it seems like it's way higher than it should be.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously, if you haven't heard any of the news about this shooting,
which I
So,
haven't.
okay. So August 27th, 2025 at 8:27 a.m. The dude's name, Robin Westman, 23-year-old former student, fired 116 rounds with a rifle, shotgun, pistol through smoke canisters, barricaded doors. I think he actually tried to barricade doors. I don't know if he actually did. Um, there's two children, 8 and 10, that were hurt. Well, that were killed. Unfortunately, I think there was like 18 kids that were actually hurt. The two children that passed, one was Fletcher Merkel, 8-year-old, and Harper Moyski, which is 10-year-old. I mean, my daughter's 9 and your daughter is 11.
10
That's that,
and almost 11. Yep.
okay. So like that's pretty close, man. That's pretty close. And yeah, 17 to 18 injured, including 15 children and 3 elderly pastors. Lasted less than 2 minutes before Westman died by suicide at the scene. And the FBI was classifying as domestic terrorism as a anti-Catholic hate crime. This is the deadliest attack on a Catholic school in U.S. history and one of fewer than 10 faith-based school shootings ever recorded. His mom used to work at that school.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Was that the motivation?
Um,
Do we know? Like, was she fired or something?
I don't think we know the motive yet. Like, I don't think the motive is there.
I mean, what the fuck can your motive be when you're killing kids? Like, it just doesn't even make sense. But
you threw the windows. Like they literally went in there to pray, and all of a sudden there's just shots being fired everywhere. Like, so he uploaded a manifesto and stuff. He uploaded videos and writing before the attack, scribbled hateful slogans on weapons. 6 million wasn't enough. And I'm guessing that's like homage to like Jews. It's kind of fucked up.
feel like that's right, but I have no idea.
Listed names of past shooters as idols, declared acts was not racial or political, but for personal gratification.
See, and that goes back to my initial comment that like there's ways to help this stuff before it happens. Like if this dude is idolizing school shooters and you are aware of it and that isn't a red flag, like it's a
Yeah.
that's a problem.
Agreed. Do something. I mean, they say his psychological state was depressed, identity turmoil. So I guess when he was 16, he got his name changed to Robin. So he became trans or was trans, whatever the thing might be. But so he didn't like his mom because she didn't agree with his choice
Okay.
of like being trans and this and that. So I have a feeling that
the school didn't either.
Well,
In
yeah.
a Catholic school.
Well, yeah, man. But I mean, I think like I'll say this. I think that the bigger thing is, okay, what caused that thought process? Because I have a feeling that some of those thought processes come from not having the acceptance or maybe having friends or people that you can communicate with. So they kind of distance themselves into a group that kind of puts a blanket and says, oh, we'll accept everybody.
Well, it goes back to the bullying thing too.
Yeah.
Like, was this kid bullied because of his decisions?
You must have been.
I mean, I don't think it's always a guarantee. I think there's good human beings out there is all I'm saying.
Well, so a former teacher at St. Thomas Academy reported that Westman was frequently socially isolated, displayed signs of self-harm, so he was probably cutting or all that kind of stuff, had interests like furries and eccentric art, described as likely struggling in the conservative school environment as a queer youth. I'm going to say this, if you're like have self-harm and stuff, and then you're interested in furries and all that kind of shit, like if you think this is kind of what you truly are interested in, I don't think people are. think they're just trying to run away from their environment. So maybe don't
I mean, you
go down that
just
road.
literally talked about licking peanut butter off of a dog's balls.
I know.
Do we need to have a conversation?
It's a weird, maybe I'd be a little hypocritical here.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just struggle with, like, I mean, we talked about it a lot last week, but I struggle with bullying, and I'm not telling you that I'm perfect. And in high school, it was definitely a little bit different situation, but for the most part, I try not to bully people. I did have a good friend that was gay, and he was a good dude, and that's all that mattered to me, is that he was a good human being. I didn't care what his sexual preference was.
Well, it doesn't matter, like,
It doesn't matter to me.
because it didn't affect you.
Right.
It's
Right.
like how do you know somebody's a fucking vegan? Because the moment they walk through the door, they're gonna tell you about their salad. You know what I mean? Like, and like that's the kind of shit. It's like, dude, I don't care what kind of salad you fucking like. Go eat it. Don't talk to me about it. I'm eating steak here. Like, it's delicious, and yours is fucking wrong choice.
Yeah, I don't know. I am always concerned when something like that happens, that there's deeper things happening that I think could have prevented them. You know, whether it was the
I
kid
agree.
is, and I'm calling him a kid because he's old enough to be my kid, but,
He's
like,
23, dude.
I know he's old enough to be my kid.
Still an adult.
Okay. The adult, um, was was he bullied?
Yeah.
You don't know that.
No, he was.
But there's confirmation of that
Yeah.
at that school. I know he
Yes.
wasn't bullied by the 8 and 10-year-old that he
He
killed,
he he
so
was
I'm not
quiet.
justifying, but
He once even hid in the bathroom to avoid attending a school mass. So I mean, like he definitely was bullied. If like that's the kind of if he was in a Catholic school, um, he wasn't accepted for his choices. Fuck, do kids even like? How do kids at that age even know their choices? I'm just saying, man. Like this is like that's one of the other things. I just don't fucking get it. I don't understand how we're in a world where everybody apparently knows everything, and then we're fucking hate it so much, dude. Like it makes no sense to me. He was a white male, so we got some stats here about we do. So, um, so 90%, 96% of school shooters are male. 53% of all mass shooters are white. Majority of high school shooters fall into that group. Transgender shooters, extremely rare, only 2 to 3 confirmed cases in the history of US schools. STEM Highlands Ranch 2019, Covenant Nashville 2023, and now that's but see the thing is, dude, those are all really fucking close apart.
timing wise,
That yeah, that's like 2019 to 23 and 25. Like that seems like it's forming a fucking habit.
I mean, it's more common now, so it's it's naturally going to happen.
Yeah, but why what about all the other fucking school shootings? The trans just didn't fucking exist back then or what?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think. I mean, I think it's a more common thing now than it was 20 years ago or 40 years ago.
I think common bullying, isolation, obsession with past shooters, treated mental illness, and I think that's the big one. Have so between 1970 and 2024, the U.S. recorded 2,056 K through 12 school shootings. Center for Homeland Defense and Security, that's where that comes from. An average of 40 plus per year since 2018, the highest ever recorded. That is ridiculous. Um, my kid's school, literally, you're not allowed in as a parent.
You can't go in the school.
You can't go in. Like, you're not allowed to go into the school. It it is only students allowed,
I
and
don't hate
all
that.
the doors lock. Like 100%. I thought it was really, really weird. Um, but I think at the same time, we actually last week talked about this. You know, we brought up the school shootings again and bullying. And here we are this week with it being another, you know, part of the conversation because it just happened. So my my thought process has kind of shifted to be like, you know what, that's okay. I think that's a good thing that they fucking lock it down.
Yep, my kid's school also is locked down during school hours. You have to be buzzed in, and then there's a security guard who's actually one of Davis's friends, best friend's mom. She's good people.
Here's a good stat actually, and this is related to fatherhood. So 72% of school shooters grew up in households with absent or unstable fathers. The fatherhood has a major impact.
Well, and this was my question that when we were talking the other day, I was thinking, how many school shooters are fathers? I bet that cuts that list down substantially.
Are fathers?
Yeah, like
Well,
have kids. If you have kids, the likelihood of you going into a school and shooting fucking kids is
I don't think there's
ex-
any school shooters that are fathers, dude.
I mean, there's always the one.
Wow. Okay. So according to U.S. government, around 5% of K through 12 school shootings were committed by individuals who were parents or relatives of students. This includes fathers who were also shooters. Notable examples. Okay. Appalachia High School shooting, Georgia, September 24. The shooter, oh, the shooter, Cole Gray, was 14, was a student. His father, Colin Gray, was charged not for shooting, but for involuntary manslaughter and other counts for providing his son the weapons.
Oh,
Um,
so he wasn't involved, but he was involved.
exactly. So I don't see anything about actual fathers going to schools and doing the shootings, which I shouldn't. That shouldn't ever be a fucking statistic, dude. As a father, I
Dude,
mean,
it's
how does
definitely had to have happened.
really?
What if your kid's getting bullied?
Okay, if your kid's getting bullied, but you're in a I think you're a little bit more rational to take that. You're not I
I'm
don't
more rational.
okay, that's a good place. So I'm looking at it from a place of
I I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying that there's somebody has probably done it or thought it, I guess. Like I've never been so mad that I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna grab my gun and drive to the fucking school." But I have been mad enough to be like, "Hey, I'm going to the school to have a conversation." Obviously, we just talked about that, but and I just want to reiterate that too. That whole thing was blown completely out of proportion for my anger towards the school. It was bad communication from a teacher. The
yeah.
rest of the way that it was handled, I fully agree with.
I my son came home, I think on his first day of school, and he said he couldn't eat his peanut butter and jelly. And he said that they wouldn't give him something else. So I instantly reached out to his teacher, and I was pretty much along the lines of, "What the fuck? How are you gonna not let my kid eat his fucking sandwich and not give him something else?" That's not what happened. I should have taken what my 5-year-old said with a grain of salt.
Yeah, probably. Were you, like, aggressive in your communication? Or were you just, like
I was
was
I
it,
was
like,
tr
curiosity?
I was trying not to be aggressive.
Okay. So maybe
I
a little bit aggressive, but not
I
trying.
yeah, I don't know, there's straightforward and then there's, like, trying to beat around the bush. I don't like beating around the bush because it fucking confuses me, and, like, I'm the one talking about it.
Yeah, I've told you that before. You're a very direct communicator,
It
and I
makes it
like it,
so
and I
much
appreciate it.
easier. Makes life easier.
For
So,
sure. For some.
you know what?
I don't disagree with you, but I'm saying with you being a direct communicator, if somebody else you're communicating with isn't, then they take offense to the way that you communicate. Um, all right, back to the shootings.
um, okay, do you think as fathers we have a responsibility? Do you believe just as parents in general you have a responsibility? Do you think that they should be held accountable for their children's actions for not either being there or presenting other options, solutions, and getting them the help that they need?
To an extent, yes. Not not fully, but to an extent, yes. I think it's really hard when you're talking about a 23-year-old because like we said already, at that point, that person is an adult.
Yeah, 100%. Um, yeah, I mean, I hope more and more of this stuff comes out and we understand a little bit more. Um, but just like the fact that's a lot of fucking bullets, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. And like here's the thing. I'm not justifying anything, but the Columbine situation happened was a high school student shooting other high schoolers that I think that they were bullied. And so I'm not I'm not justifying it, but like the rationalization is I could see it a little bit more. This is a 23-year-old taking out fucking kids that he didn't even go to school with. I mean, like you said, that there are kids age. It's literally fucking August and Evelyn and Ellie, and you're 23 years old. Like, if you hate the school, you know, fucking kill one of the teachers or something. I know that sounds fucked up, but you're taking out.
We're not condoning that, but
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm
understand
not.
like what we're trying to say is that be shooting you shouldn't be shooting anybody.
You shouldn't be shooting anybody. You should not be shooting anybody. But it makes it harder when you're taking little kids' lives that had nothing to do with anything.
And that's I mean, I can't fathom the mindset of somebody that would go in and do something like that. I think that is an incredibly dude, kids are innocent. Kids might be frustrating, but I'm telling you right now, it doesn't matter what you had in your life. If you ever take it out on a fucking child and try to hurt them, you are a piece of shit that deserves to be fucking dead.
Well, and I hate that they all take their a lot of them take their own lives before anybody else gets a chance to get a hold of them.
Well, yeah, and it's like I can guarantee you that when that shooting was happening, I don't think he was even able to necessarily see through the windows. Maybe he could, but it's like you can't even fucking deal with what you just done, and that's you're just gonna take the easy way out. You're gonna take people's lives, and then you're gonna go. Like, why would you do that?
Well, and it's a shitty situation for law enforcement because you can't just fucking fire inside the building because you know that there's still people in there. So it become I just couldn't imagine how uncomfortable that would be.
I can't imagine being the parents to get that fucking phone call
Oh, that
or to
too.
find out your child was one of the ones that was hit. That is heartbreaking, man. I would I would I would personally hold the parents fucking responsible at that point and take matters in my own hand. I don't think there would be a rational bone in my body, and I'm a pretty rational person when I think and how I act. I know I do some retarded stuff, but in that case, it would just be action. It's horrible, dude. And like there's I think the parents went up and like they spoke on like a podium. Yeah, I would not be able to do that shit.
No, no, no. When did the actual shooting happen?
August 27th. So
Last Wednesday.
there you go.
Um, yeah. So within 2 days, they were speaking. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I could do it.
I mean, that makes no sense to me, dude. Makes no sense. How is that? How do you have enough fucking strength and composure to have that conversation? And I didn't watch the speech, so I'm sure that they weren't necessarily fully composed. I mean, as I just don't understand it. You can't a disagreement with your child, and then them growing up confused and upset, and he had regrets. He didn't wanna be gay or trans anymore. Like, I guess he wrote that in his manifesto or something.
Really?
So, like, there was it was almost like he's done so much harm in his own life that they went ahead and took others' lives because they felt as if there's no way there's no going back.
I mean, it's not that fucking hard, right?
Yeah, I
Just
don't
leave the
fucking
goddamn state and go start your life over. You're 23 years old. You're an adult.
yeah, definitely don't, hurt people because you don't have your shit together, man. Um, I guess, like, maybe wrapping up this section, school shootings are terrible. I think mental health is a massive factor that is deeply in kids at this point. This having a what do they call an atomic family is incredibly powerful. And I think as we go further and further away from having, a father and a mother that are in their children's lives to help guide them, because there's certain things that the mother's going to do and certain things that a father can do. I think taking one of those out creates some social distance and kind of does a lot more harm to those children, man.
Yeah, I think it's important to just know your kids, observe your kids, and if you see changes, you should talk.
And don't be afraid to talk.
Correct. When when you talked about this, it's been weeks now, but how you forced Ian to have conversations with you. Um, and I didn't necessarily agree with it, but I do see the value in that for this specific reason. Now, obviously, it's not something you have to worry about with Ian being homeschooled,
Yeah. Well, yeah, that'd be fucked up.
but it is still something you have to worry about for Ian's own mental health, so he doesn't, put himself in a bad situation.
Well, dude, being a parent is hard, man. And I think the parents that are afraid to have conversations with their kids or afraid to disagree with them and set boundaries You know what? In 16, there's a lot that he can do. Doesn't matter. Doesn't mean he's doing it. Doesn't mean he's allowed to do it. And that's the if you don't have you need to have limitations on what's acceptable and what is not. And I think we're in not maybe there's a small minority of people that either aren't there for their kids. There's fathers that aren't having difficult conversations because they don't feel like arguing. I'm telling you right now, dude, I don't ever feel like fucking arguing. I don't. No chance, dude. As a father,
Oh, but
I
you're a put your foot down type of guy.
no, I just don't like I don't want to argue. Like I've never went into a conversation with my kids that we disagreed with and be like, "Oh, this is going to be great. I can't wait to disagree." No, I can't it doesn't I want my kids, if they disagree, to have a conversation and to be able to articulate why they disagree and still be happy. That's the whole goal. And I think now you have people that disagree, and instead of being able to, you know, move forward as a family, it tears them apart because egos and pride and all that stuff gets in the way. I force my kids to talk because I find that kids don't want to have conversations, and especially teenagers. So if you kind of stand there and you make them feel incredibly awkward and weird, eventually you'll break through because they'll realize that you're not going anywhere. You're there because you care and you want to understand what they're dealing with so you could help them because more than likely we've all been in that place. And I think as fathers, that's our job. Rant over.
No, and I do agree with you. I think I also am a believer of if you're going to have a potentially heated conversation, you need to be in the right mindset. I think that if your kid is struggling and you see that, that is not a situation where you should wait, right? Like that's a situation where you should put yourself in there and say, "Hey, there's clearly something going on. Like what's going on? What can I help you with? Do we need to get this and this for you?"
Well, yeah, it's the value. Like what's important to you as a father? Because those are the things that you're going to fight tooth and nail for.
All right. Um so Fatherhood Unscripted.
Father and scripted. um, my son is working. Ian is working. Ellie is well, he eats pizza during work, and then he comes home at like 9:30. Like go pick him up. Like last night was like 10:30, and then he's like, "Oh, I didn't eat dinner." I was like, "Dude, you got bed. Like you're just using this shit as an excuse to stay up an extra fucking hour. Doesn't work." Um, but I'm proud of him doing that. At least finally feeling better. Yesterday we actually were out and about for I would say almost a whole day. We actually went back to the camper. Um, we got a new couch. Oh, we had to get a new couch because Ellie threw up on our couch. And here's the fucked up thing. Um, this couch that we got is great and it's a recliner. The seat I fucking sit in doesn't recline. It stopped working. I went to the bathroom to take a shit. I came back out. The recliner was not reclined because somebody declined it. I don't know how I don't know if that works. And then it stopped fucking working. So I'm pretty upset about that. Bennon's loving school.
He loves it.
He loves it, man. He's having a blast. He said to me, he's one of the kids, I guess, might be Chinese. I don't know, dude. I'm just repeating what my son said. He's like, "Dad, one of the kids had a Nintendo Switch." I'm like, "Right on." And he's like, "And it was in Chinese." I'm like, how do you know it was in Chinese? He's like, "'Cause he's Chinese, Dad." Like looking at me like, "Are you stupid?" So his teacher takes a picture of the class, and he's going through his class where she's like, "That's the girl that keeps getting in my face. That's the kid that spits everywhere, and that's the Chinese kid." I couldn't see his face, dude. He had dark hair. I mean, it could have been, but it was just funny, like the way that kids describe things, which is funny because he kind of describes things like how I do. It's like the most like this most stand out feature to you, just how he does it,
which may not be to everybody else.
which may not be to everybody else. They're looking for a Chinese guy and they're Native American. Well, I guess to him, it's Chinese.
Well, he's 5, right? He turns 6 soon.
6 in December, yeah.
6 in December. So yeah, he still doesn't know like a lot of that stuff, right?
No, like he knows what Chinese people look like. He knows how people with those eyes look like. Yeah. Are you serious right now? You're telling me that kids don't realize that shit? That's the first things that they fucking notice. Truth, dude. So are you serious right now?
Mine's kind of similar to yours. It's just all over the place, but I had a good vacation with August in Florida. So I would say overall was a really good trip. And then Wednesday got back to see Evelyn, which was nice. My other 2 boys were on a trip to for their school, 2 separate trips. Jackson got back Thursday. Got to hang out with both him and Ev on Friday, and then Davis got back Friday night. I did not get to see Davis until yesterday, but he came over for dinner and we played biscuits and hung out. It was good. It was good. Good start to the weekend.
They were all
The
taking
long
shots.
weekend. Yeah, I made them take shots every time they lost, which was every single game we played. So
Are you serious? Just kidding.
I am serious.
Just want to see how that would have felt.
Don't call me Shirley.
Just call you what?
Shirley, you can't be serious.
Surely.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Uh,
All right, let's talk about this.
let me just touch base on your reaction to "Are you serious?" when I said that. So my kids, when they ask me, they're like, "Hey, Dad, why do their eyes look like that?" I'm like, "Because they're probably Chinese." I'm like, "They're from a different part of the world." I just want the internet to know that's why. You know, just want you fucking weirdos out there. They're gonna talk shit. That's why, because I'm an honest parent to my children. They're not from here, and if they are, they were from a different place originally.
Just like
That's
you.
it. Just like me.
You stupid Russian.
Look, I don't even look Russian. I'm
You
like the
look-
least.
You're the most Russian person I've ever met.
I don't even look Russian, dude. Do I even look Russian?
Yeah, your eyes are
Tell us
all
in the comments.
Russian.
What's wrong with my eyes? Are they sideways? My eyes are usually fucking closed too. It's like it's like I'm always high, and I'm like, dude, I haven't smoked weed in I don't know how many years.
I think you have the most Russian name that I've ever seen.
Dmitry. I got into an argument with a girl in elementary school. It was a black girl, and because she had a neighbor or her cousin, and her name was Dmitria, and she's like, "Oh, Dmitri's a black name." I was like, "Dmitri's a Russian name, first off," and it got heated. I was very defensive of my name. That's right. The important things when you're a child. All right, let's get into it. I'm ready.
All right. So on Friday, my daughter said, "Hey," so she, I've kind of brought this up before, but I think she honestly just likes the quality time with me, and she knows that I love like true crime documentaries. We typically watch a lot of Dateline. I would say most of the other stuff we don't typically watch together, but there was this one that just came out on Netflix, not sponsored. It's
Thank
called
God.
The Unknown Number, the High School Catfish. And so we sat down and watched it. It was there was four of us, my two kids and then Deanna, myself. And before we started watching it, I was like, predictions. And so like 3 out of 4 of us, our prediction was a parent slash teacher. So the show
Damn,
starts.
really?
Yeah. Why?
Wow.
Well, so the show starts, and if you know anything about Dateline, typically when you're watching, you can usually figure out who did the murder because they're the person that doesn't do the interview, right?
Sure.
And then they might be interviewed towards the end, claiming their innocence, and they're in their jail uniform.
Was the mother not interviewed?
She was, and that's where things got like kind of crazy. So
Shit.
there's 2 kids. It's a boyfriend and girlfriend. They were friends from a young age, and then I think around 12 they started dating. And then they started getting text messages around 13. The text messages went on for 24 months.
Did you say they?
The mom or the boyfriend and the girlfriend.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
And the shit that was said was fucking wild, man. It was like sexual in nature. At one point, the daughter was told to go kill herself. And so they got the school involved. They ended up getting the local government involved. It was a small city in Michigan called Beale City, or I would call that a town, but called Beale City. Yeah, Beal. And then it didn't stop. So since it didn't stop, the local police department actually escalated it up to the FBI. And so the FBI ended up finding out that it was the mother of the daughter that was sending the text messages. She claims she didn't do them from the start, but I think that she's full of shit.
All right. So I had to do a quick. So here's some of the quotes from there.
The text messages.
Yeah. Owen loves me, and I will always be the girl he loves. He will be with me while your lonely, ugly ass is alone. Fuck off,
That's
you
her
nasty skank whore. Jesus, kill yourself now,
That's her
bitch.
daughter.
His life would be better if you were dead. What the fuck?
Yep.
He wants sex, BJs, and making out. He don't want your sorry ass. Are you fucking kidding me? Things are about to get so much worse. Wow.
Dude, so as a here's what I want to talk about. Obviously, we talked about bullying last week, but like as a parent, I watched another documentary that was pretty bad from a parent's perspective, and I know there's plenty of shitty fucking parents out there.
Was that the YouTube one?
No.
Oh, dude, YouTube Kids, that one's fucked.
Oh, yeah, that one is pretty fucked up too. Yep, I have seen that one. It's Abducted in Plain Sight. This dude manipulates this whole fucking family. He's gets the dad to like give him a hand job. He sleeps with the fucking mom, and then he ends up sleeping with like the 14-year-old daughter. It takes place in like the I want to say 80s or 90s. Yeah, dude, it was fucked. It was a fucked up one. You should check that one out.
How do you get manipulated into giving a fucking hand job?
Well, I wondered the same thing, but
like
supposedly this dude's a charmer. So
I need to figure out those skills, and I'm gonna try to play them on my wife. Like, Jesus, that's impressive.
So anyways, for me, it was just like, I was pretty fucking disgusted that it was the mom. Like,
Yeah.
I could see doing something like that to a certain extent, to like, maybe you don't want your daughter with the guy, and so you try to break that wedge, right? I think it's fucked up and pretty chicken shit, but I could at least,
It's so pretty weird.
I could see that.
I can't see
Well,
that.
like if there's, well,
You're
yeah,
you're
because
gonna
you're
fucking
so
catfish
direct, like
somebody?
we just talked about. You're just gonna flat out tell your kid you're not fucking being with this person, but not everybody wants to have those battles with their
That's what I
children.
mean. That be a fucking parent. Fuck not wanting to have those battles, dude.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying that, like, I could see how that could happen. But the shit that's said in there, like, she's literally talking about sex with her 13-year-old daughter and, like, almost forcing her to do it. Like, putting her in a situation where she's almost forcing her to do it because she's saying that that's what the kid wants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the fact that you tell your daughter to fucking kill herself is mind blowing, because what if that were to happen?
And all the and dude, all the meantime, seeing what it's doing to your fucking kid.
And her kid was struggling. And her kid was struggling. She ended up quitting her fucking job. She ended up losing her job, I should say. She didn't tell her husband. Her husband left her. I mean, for obvious reasons, her husband left her. And then she ended up getting jail time, which was fucking awesome. It was not enough, but it was fucking awesome. I think she got 1.5 years.
Are you kidding me?
It's the max sentencing for is it cyberbullying? I think it's, they said 1.5 years.
Dude, her daughter's out of her fucking life. There's no chance.
No, her fucking daughter wants to see her. She was talking to her in jail. It's weird, dude. It's, well, and the superintendent of the school, he said it's like Munchausen syndrome.
Sure.
It's almost like, hey, I created this thing over here, and it's bringing my daughter to me, and so she needs me. She needs me, dude. It's fucked up, man. It was a pretty tough watch towards the end. It was well done, and I was shocked at how many people talked about it, including the daughter, the husband, and the mom.
Damn, dude. Well, maybe I'll watch that tonight. That sounds. Yeah, I can't imagine that shit. A
Oh, I was
year and a
supposed to say
half.
spoiler alert. We didn't do that. Oops.
Well, I fucking spoiled it from the beginning. You told me, and then I got completely lost in trying to bring you guys in to listen to the conversation in the beginning, and shit got all twisted.
The way they did the documentary, I thought for sure it was going to end up being like a teacher. So I was definitely. Oh yeah, that's the other thing, and this is pretty fucked up too. But she started putting targets on other girls in the high school as like leading people to believe that they were the ones sending the messages. And so then they started struggling mentally. Like, she fucked up a whole high school. Like, it's a small high school, but dude, this chick could need some fucking serious help.
I mean, yeah, she will need serious help, dude. That's ridiculous. Like, how do you do that shit? Like, what goes through the fucking mind to be like, I'm gonna pretend. And she was texting both of them.
Both kids
And I'm
for,
sure the other.
for over 2 years. Over 2 years. So they ended up breaking up. They don't even communicate with each other anymore. The boy and the girl. The boy ended up dating another girl from a town, like, it sounded like it was, I don't know, like 30-ish miles away. The mom ended up reaching out to the mom of the other one and started stalking her, and so the kid ended up breaking up with that girl because he just didn't want to fuck up her life too. I love you too, but that seemed like weird timing.
Well, so did the kid did So the son the boyfriend figured it out.
No, the FBI figured it out. Nobody knew until the FBI got involved.
So who did the boyfriend think it was?
Well, they thought it was one of the girls from the high school at one point. They thought that it was his cousin at one point. But outside of that, they had no fucking idea. And the chick knew like super personal shit. At one point, there's a Christmas party and there's a picture of him on the couch. And so that's why his cousin ended up getting pulled in. But it was the mom, because the mom.
Why,
Yep.
dude?
It's crazy. It's a crazy story, and it's pretty fucking mind blowing how somebody would do that to their kid.
That's. I mean, honestly, dude, that's kids kill themselves over that.
Well, yeah. I mean, kids do kill themselves when you tell them to kill themselves.
It's so wrong, man.
Yeah, she fucked up a lot of people's lives, and she justified it.
She justified it?
She owned it a little bit, but she justified her actions. She's a fucking psychopath.
Jeez. So did it get into why Kendra did this? It's the mother.
It was to I think it was to break them up, but the mom of the boy, Owen, she said she felt like there was some kind of infatuation with Owen. And the more and more I think about it, I think that that's what it was about.
Yeah.
Because she was just talking like super sexual when it wasn't even necessary. Yeah, I think it was something to do with the boy.
Yeah,
Can you let Ronan know I'm not Chinese?
Patrick's not Chinese, in case you're wondering.
But I can read Chinese.
No, you don't.
But those are pretty popular when I was in my early 20s.
Yeah, they were real popular. So somebody found out that their fucking arm says fried rice. So is this like a recent thing?
Yeah. No. So it happened in 2020.
So the daughter's now like 18.
Which is kind of what I was thinking. I don't know. The mom got released in 2024, I believe, from jail. So I don't know what their relationship is now. But yeah, she still wanted to have a relationship with her mom, which I was like, that's fucking absurd.
Like, okay. Is it incredibly messed up? Yes. But I guess the daughter forgave.
Yeah, I don't think the other families did, though.
No chance. How would you react if somebody's parent was texting Davis for 2 years, pretend to be somebody else?
So that's a good question. Deanna and I talked about it. I think that I would have pulled his phone from him because it was fucking with the kid's mental state. And I think that the phone was the problem. And nobody changed numbers either, which I do understand the theory behind not changing numbers. They said somebody is so close to this group that they will find out what the number is and it'll be a huge fucking waste of time. They were blocking the numbers, but the lady was using a phone number generator. So she was literally just spitting out numbers. She had an IT background. So that's why she was able to do all of that. but I would have pulled his phone. I think that's what I would have done. Because here's the thing, if you pull the phone, she was so close to it, she would have eventually fucking stopped because there's no more game to play if you don't have a fucking phone. He wasn't even necessarily interacting with her in the text messages. She would send them to him, and then it would just fuck with him.
But I wonder how the mother texted, because I'll say this, like, as a father, you kind of know how your spouse texts.
She was using "you are," like you're. I don't. She was pretty smart. I mean, she's pretty smart for somebody who's pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those people that uses their intelligence for negative instead of positive. Yeah, like she wasn't spelling out YOUR. She was putting UR and shit like that. Like she was putting it like she thinks kids would text, I think. It was crazy, dude. It's definitely worth watching. Not sponsored.
Do you think it was about control? Or do you
I mean,
think
that's
it
kind
was
of
like
what
just
Munchausen syndrome is, and
sadistic thing?
I do think it's a little bit about control.
Well, isn't Munchausen like kidnapping, and then you're pretty much use your kidnapper as like protection because you grow to understand or agree with them?
I don't think that's 100% like it's what I don't think it's kidnapping related. It's creating this false environment for your kid so they think that you're the savior. What's the famous one?
So
Gypsy Rose?
Munchausen syndrome, the mental health disorder in which person deliberately fakes, exaggerates, or induces illness or injury in themselves in order to gain attention, sympathy, or care. The motivation is psychological, to be seen as sick or cared for. When a caregiver causes or fabricates illness in someone else. Oh, Munchausen's by proxy. But that's interesting though. That's kind of interesting because it doesn't she didn't fake illness in herself or anything.
No, not it's just like a different version of it.
I don't think that's what it is. But can you imagine saying all that stuff?
Psychological.
Well, it's psychological, but it's not Munchausen.
It's not. It's just like a version of that though. I think I think Gypsy Rose is the famous Munchausen syndrome case, right? Like the mom was medicating her and telling her she was fucking sick when she wasn't.
Oh,
And then
they
I
made
think she
it?
ended up killing
Wasn't
her.
that a movie?
Mm-hmm. I've never watched that movie, but yeah.
Gypsy Rose Blanchard is an American woman born 91. She became widely known because of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard, who for years subjected her to unnecessary medical treatment by falsely claiming Gypsy had multiple severe illnesses. Jesus. Gypsy was put in a wheelchair, fed through a feeding tube, and underwent countless surgeries. People like that should fucking die, man. 10 years in prison, that's it? She was paroled in 2023. How does that happen? The mother.
I
Oh,
thought it was Gypsy
oh,
for killing
Gypsy.
the mother.
Yeah, she's good then. 10 years, too much. Fucking my mistake. Yo, Gypsy should have been fucking free. Free the Gypsy. That's fucked up. Why would you even go to how is that justifiable to send her to fucking prison for having somebody literally destroy their fucking lives that they put all their trust in? But yes, she is the most famous modern case of Munchausen by proxy abuse. So Munchausen's is when you do it when you do it to yourself to gain an advantage. By proxy is when it's done to
Got
you
it.
by
No, that
somebody
makes
else.
sense. So this would be by proxy as well, because it was a psychological. Like I said, you're psychologically fucking up your daughter, so she moves closer to you. So now she thinks you're.
And then she was like consoling her.
She's the one who I think contacted the cops. She was trying to like put herself into the investigation. I'm sure some of it was to protect herself, but
That
yeah,
was
dude,
smart.
it's
I mean, that was smart. that devil. We've had two pretty pretty strong topics for our conversation today. Is there anything you want to add onto the catfish?
no, there's nothing I want to add. I have some closeout comments, but
Okay,
that's it.
I'm ready. I want to hear them.
I think I think for the first topic, I think it's important as parents to know your kids and understand your kids. By no means am I putting this on the parent in this situation, because like I said, it's 23, you're an adult at that point. But these things happen all the time. I also think that you need to educate your kids on, you know, being prepared, whatever that looks like to you. And then I think the other topic is like, I don't even have much to say. Like that fucking bitch.
Yeah, I'll say that have the conversations with your children. Let them be difficult because if you don't have the difficult conversations with them, they're going to have them with themselves. And if they're still developing mentally, those conversations are going to be going towards depression and insecurities and lack of confidence. Um, you as a parent can break down that wall and have those conversations to break those habits. But unfortunately, it's not a conversation that takes 2 seconds and you get to the solution. They'll probably cry, they'll probably be upset. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, your job is to guide them into the right direction and to help them with the tools. Sometimes stuff's hard and you need to have an emotional response. They can have that, but don't let them sulk in it. And if you see something, say something. In schools, and I guess in anywhere, guns don't kill people. People kill people. You can leave a gun on a table unattended and it'll never hurt somebody. So I think the biggest issue is gun control, but it's more so mental health in the United States and making it a little bit deeper instead of all the social bullshit that's going on because it's not helping anybody's mental health. It's fucking people up with delusions. And the catfishing stuff, don't do that.
Don't do that.
I mean, don't do either of them, but
Yeah, let's not do either of them.
if you did one, do the catfish. I don't know why I'm fucking laughing, but
You're, you're
I
dumb.
just I
Just
just can't help
you're just being
being
very Dmitry.
I'm
I
just
appreciate the
I'm just
seriousness.
me, man. Yeah, there is 100% like serious insincerity and um sorry to hear our condolences go out to the families. Um this woman that did that to her daughter and her daughter's boyfriend, you should I hope you get shanked in jail. Um she's out I hope you get shanked on the streets with a peppermint in Minecraft. Because this is how we work.
I don't even know what just happened. All right, I'm gonna do a less serious question.
All right,
since
I'm ready.
you had a pretty serious.
That was a very serious one.
What is your stripper name, and what song do you come out to?
James Blunt, you're beautiful.
Okay, that's fitting.
What's my name? Oh man, I had a cough in there. I don't know why. It just sounded like that. It sounded aggressive. What would my name be? This is just so weird. Litter holes.
Glitter holes.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I like it. I'm into it.
Now to the stage, glitter holes. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. How about you?
Yum yum.
Yum yum. Oh God! All right.
I stole that, but I'm taking it. Yum Yum, my buddy Yum Yum listens to the podcast, so he knows who he is.
Oh, so you're taking his identity?
Well, he gets donuts from this place called Yum Yum, so we started calling him Yum Yum.
All right.
So I figured it was fitting. And then I'm gonna come out to Welcome to the Jungle.
Okay, that's a good one. See, like you come out with like excitement and like joy, and it is me central, dude. I want them to get what they paid for. Every dollar they get a holler.
What is a holler?
I don't know. For 20, you get these hands. For 40, can't even talk about that.
All right. Thank you for listening. Like, follow, subscribe, and I almost said follow again on all major platforms: YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and so on. And so
That's
on.
right.
And Compass on.
Compass on, and we'll see you guys next week. Comcast on. It's my superpower. All right. Glitter holes and yum yum. We'll see you next week.
Glitter holes and yum yum out.
On the Fatherhood Podcast.